Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Nnamdi Kanu's court trial was postponed till in November. A lot of reactions has followed all the events that took place today in the Federal High Court in Abuja. For some of us who missed the videos, please to go to our playlist. All the videos live as they were occurring were posted. But right now, a lot of reactions have trailed this movement. Ohaneze Ndigbo have decided also to react. And of course, don't forget that before this whole saga began, the whole court case today, IPOB had warned that on this Saturday there will be sit at home, and must be observed across all Biafra land. As we're talking, you'll be seeing series and series of video, series of pictures of how it all went down in Imo State and other parts. And of course, Ohaneze Ndigbo seem to have a different scenario totally of what is happening. And IPOB, of course, and other stakeholders are having a different stories. Of course, they're talking about this. Everybody with their opinion anyway. But before we go into the news proper, I would like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. For those of us who have subscribed, many thanks. All right, let's go straight into the news. Following the sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra, Owerri, the capital city of Owerri, in defiance to Imo State governor, Imo State government countered stayed at home, and this is what happened. Monitored the situation. We monitored, like in this Wadra Road in Owerri was deserted. The residents of Owerri did not just desert their businesses; they also stayed away from streets, remaining indoors, as only few persons could be sighted coming to just to look around. Though they were not doing anything, they were just looking around. They don't want trouble. The highbrow areas of the city remain very ghostly. Wadra Road to Okigwe Road were totally deserted. Aladima housing estate, a residential area, witnessed houses without overt human movement and activities. Unlike before the sit-at-home order, you still see some people on the streets lying down, sleeping, playing football. This one, even flies, mosquitoes, they stayed back at home. Nobody came out. Well, in the banks were shut. Aladima housing estate lacking exposed of their resident. There was nobody around, they were all indoors. The banks were shut. Some of the banks visited were Zenith Bank, UBA, as well as telecommunication outfits were all closed. As in, when they say sacrosanct sit at home, it was lit. Everybody was at home. Well, major supermarkets in the city, including the medium and the small scale businesses, also closed shop in observance of the order. Nnamdi Kanu Stadium looked innocent of athletics as facilities were starved of human patronage. Speaking with one of the residents in Aladima Estate, who introduced himself as Henry on the condition of anonymity, said he loves Nnamdi Kanu for choosing to sacrifice his people. For choosing to sacrifice for his people, rather. When asked what could turn things around for better, he said only equity, justice, and fair play can change the mind of an Igbo man. He advised the federal government to do the right thing so as to save the country from breakage. Honestly, that can go a long way if actually they can obey that. Okay, but let's find out what Ohaneze Ndigbo has got to say. Well, the Igbo group, Igbo sociocultural group, Ohaneze Ndigbo, on Thursday declared that producing the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, to court by the federal government was a victory for the group. As in, the fact that Nnamdi Kanu came to court, they have won. It's okay. This is serious. In a statement released in Enugu by National Publicity Secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Alex Ogbonnaya, the apex Igbo body said that it took diplomatic engagements by Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide under the able leadership of His Excellency Ambassador Professor George Obiozor to achieve this result. He said that the federal government had, through the Department of State Services, DSS, bowed to the overwhelming demands of Ndigbo by producing Kanu in court. This is one step forward in Ohanese's determined move towards ensuring that the Afaruku prince is set free in no distant time. Oh, that is nice. That sounds very nice. The monitoring team of the Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide, led by former governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezife, Chief Nwosu Ezigbo I, of Abuja, Barrister Godi Uwazurike, were also in court to monitor proceedings and report back to the leadership of Ohaneze Ndigbo. We are unrelenting in our resolve to ensure that the federal government toes the path of wisdom by conceding to the proposal for dialogue and alternative dispute resolution, which will ensure the unconditional freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and all members of IPOB detained across Nigeria, while commending Nigerians from all walks of life for the extraordinary interest and solidarity they have demonstrated for current Igbo travels. I urge our youth to show restraint, prudence, and maturity in their legitimate demands for equity, justice, and fairness. He said, okay, makes a lot of sense. If they're saying they're going to help, if the diplomatic move is going to help release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, well, all is fair. Well, the truth be told, what happened in across Southeast, particularly Imo State, my God. You know, sit at home, if you have been observing sit at home for a while now in Southeastern Zone, you notice that sometimes you still see some street open, little street shops here and there, pickets of movement here and there. You could still see bikes, tricycle riders, you know, those who can still go around filming. This time around, flies also sat at home. Mosquitoes, they all sat at home. Nobody want to hear that something happened. The only people that got to move around, if you check our video, see the video where some of them were carrying flags of Biafra, shouting that Biafra has come, shouting that holy holy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is another savior, and all that. Other than that, people were generally inside, indoors, observing, wanting, because no one wants to hear stories that touch. But right now, the demands that was made by that indigenous people of Biafra was that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be brought to court. Well, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is brought to the court today, and he has been returned back to detention, and which means at least the 1 month sit at home. At least, we are going by the words they said, it will not hold, except, of course, another order has been given. But for now, there seems to be peace. Don't forget that NBA practically begged the federal government that please, no matter the gimmick and the dynamics or whatever it is that will happen, please, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be brought to the courtroom, because they are having their confab. They're having their conference come the 22nd. Okay, and some of them are going to pass through that route of southeast. Those in north, central, northeast, they're going to pass through that route, and nobody wants to hear stories that touch, because when they say sit at home, it means both buses that are coming in through southeast or going out of southeast not allowed. There's no movement allowed at all. So to speak, now I understand what Ohaneze Ndigbo is trying to say. At least the fact that they obeyed and bowed to pressure, it's a win. Hopefully, they keep hoping and praying for more wins in the future on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case saga. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's listen to the comment section. What's your take?